Lynn has gone to BridgeBase Online. You can see her username, and I'll let you do the pointing, Lynn.
There's my username. You can
and
see
her
down here.
password. And all she has to do is log in. Okay, and that's the first screen you see there. So the point of today's session is simply to get you comfortable with BridgeBase Online. We're not going to go into a lot of depth unless you hang on at the end. But we're going to try and show you around the site and give you some familiarity with the site. The first thing I'm doing is, if you could, Lynn, take your cursor and just move the section with the messages, people, and history count tabs.
Okay.
So show them how you can make that bigger and smaller. So she puts that on the edge and she pulls that all the way over, okay, to the side. Good. Now if your pictures or the faces are in front of you covering that, you can click on the top of that and move. So once that's pretty big, Lynn, would you just go on the history for a moment?
Mm-hmm.
See how poorly you did this morning.
Ugh.
Okay, so you can see the last game that she was in was Support Your Club. What was that, the 10 o'clock game?
It was.
Okay, can you click on that up there, please?
Oh, this is painful. Couldn't we pick
No,
a game I
don't
did
worry.
well
Okay,
in?
so it's loading results. And this history tab is really, really helpful. When I'm playing a game, I like to have this open on the side. So here's her, you can see her game score for the day was 40.9% in yellow. And you'll see the boards on the left, 18. So pick out one you did very well on. Look at that, maybe 15.
15. There we go.
82.8%. Does everybody see that? And notice that let's call it the hand record, came up below. So you can see all four hands, and you can also see the bidding that took place there. So Lynn and Mary Jekyll for me were east-west on it. Now, one thing I want to point out right away, and this is very confusing for people in the beginning, your hand or your playing position will always be in the bottom of the screen when you're playing.
When you're playing, yes.
When you're playing. Right now, Lynn is not playing, so it appears in a normal location. But you will always be at the bottom regardless of whether you are east, west, north, or south. Okay? That's very important. It takes a little getting used to at first. So you can see the hands, and you can see their results. And do you see in yours, Lynn, right now, the other tables? If you clicked on that, I can see it on my screen. Maybe that's only when you're playing that you can see the results. All right, let's.
Nope, I can see other tables.
Yeah, okay, there it is. Okay, so Lynn and Mary got 82.8, but look how many people got 95, 95, 98, etc. down the line. So the top board was the 98%. And just scroll, show where the scroll button is on the right of that, so you can scroll down to show the people who didn't do as well on that board. There it is. Okay, watch her scroll down. So you can see people starting to get much lower scores on that. So she did pretty well on that. Okay. So that history tab, and why don't we just, I don't want to minimize it completely, but maybe a third of the screen or 25% of the screen. Let it play. So you use your cursor on the edge of that, and it'll appear much smaller, but you can enlarge it at any point. And again, during the course of the game, you can look at other tables and see how what others have bid, and that's very helpful to see how you're doing in the course of the day. It can also disappoint you and make you feel dejected and sorrowful, or very happy, whatever you wish. So again, our purpose today is to get you familiar with the site with enough, so you get enough confidence to go in there and just try and play around with different things. There's nothing you can do to hurt it once you start going, okay? So you can't.
I missed, how did you get the history? How did you get to
Sure.
that place?
Okay. There are 4 tabs: messages, people, history, and account. Barbara, what are you using? Are you using an iPad or a?
I'm using my computer.
Okay, so look on the far right. You see
On the
message.
far right, I see the history, but I don't know how you got there.
Oh,
I
well,
clicked on it.
click on it. Well, actually, you can't, Barbara. I'm sorry, you can't click on it because you're watching. Nobody is logged in to BridgeBase Online. But she clicked on it,
Okay.
and her results appeared. So you can go back and look at different tournaments you've played in, different matches, as well as keeping your current results as you're playing visible in front of you and your partner.
I saw the results of it. I just didn't see how you got there.
Sure, okay. Why don't you click on people for a moment, Lynn? Okay, and that'll show that FIB 47 and Red Monkey 2 are logged in at the moment. And FIB 47 happens to be my wife. Red Monkey 2 is me. That's an old CB handle that goes back to my college days. I'll just mention that. Now you'll notice that you'll see a 3 and a 2 plus. That's sort of in bold black on that. That's the BridgeBase points that you've gotten online so far. So
Jim,
you.
we can't see you because your picture is blocking the people.
Okay, you can move your pictures to the side. Go to the top picture and it'll highlight
Sorry,
in
okay,
black.
got it.
Okay,
Gotcha.
and just take it and move it to the side,
Done.
out of the way. Okay.
Thank you.
So Lynn, while we're on people, why don't you just there's cursors there to go to hosts and friends, etc. Just see what the other tabs are. Okay, these are people who are hosting a game right now. And you've got stars. I guess these are people who are got a lot of points on it, doing well. Probably not important. But as you start playing with people and you get the names of them, Lynn, can you show where they would add somebody's name to the friends list? If you go back to the friends, the people.
I don't know where friends is.
Okay, now up top, the tab is friends.
Oh,
I touched friends, then I blocked it.
Right, okay, back
All right.
to
All right.
I lost it, yeah. Don't know why. Okay, well, if you
I know why.
people and you have friends, there is a little box down in the lower right that says, I think it says
There you
add a
go.
friend. So if you know
Right
their
down.
username, I can't quite see it on my screen, Lynn.
Oh, you can't? Okay.
No, I can't see it on my screen. But it would be down in the lower portion and you can add a friend. So knowing your friends' usernames would allow you to see who's online. The other day, I think I counted 12 people from our club who were online, and that's pretty cool. So again, our purpose is to give you an overview, and it's cool enough. Lynn, we've covered the history tab. Would you go to messages since we're on this section? Messages are general messages for everybody. You'll see their announcements of special tournaments and things that are going on. Free tourneys, temporarily unavailable. But you also see results from the ACBL tournament that was taking place that weekend. So how about going to account? I usually check the messages once a day just to see if there's any big news that are up. That's
I look
coming.
at mail as well.
Do you?
I don't have any messages right now.
Yeah, I
And no
never
one has
seem to see
chatted
that.
with me.
No, nobody sends messages to me. Okay. How about account? There we go.
And let me make
Account,
this a little bit.
make that a little, yeah, great. Make
I,
it a little.
I still don't see how you got a count. I
Okay.
can't see
Do
a
You see
count.
your history tab?
Can you see my cursor? I'm circling my name right now.
Yes, I see your cursor and I see you have a count, but I didn't see the word account until now. How
So
did you pick
can
it?
you see history?
No,
You don't see history right now either.
all I see up there is account.
Oh, go to the far right. Are you on the far right?
Yeah, look on. the
Now
tab.
I see people, but I didn't see people until you just put it up.
Hmm.
And
Now
I
you
don't
see
see
history.
I don't see how you're getting that. I understand it once you get it, but I don't see how where are you looking to hit account people messages?
Sure, okay. We might have to do a little tutorial with you to show you where they are. But there are 4 tabs. If you're playing with.
Anybody else having problems with that?
No. You can unmute yourself if you need to, if you want to say something like, yes, I'm having problems too, or no, I'm not.
Yeah, just hit the space bar and you'll unmute yourself.
This is Katura, and I see it all on the right.
Yeah,
Yep.
she may not be seeing the right column over there.
It's sideways.
Oh, I'm sorry. The pictures were taking over that messages people history account.
Yes.
Yeah, I hide
Okay, that
people.
happens, yeah. Okay. All right, so let's go back to account then. You should be able to see it now, Bob.
Fine.
Hey, Lynn, if you'd click on account.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
have a problem.
Who's that?
I am. Jim, I cannot hear your voice very well. We're looking
You
at,
want to turn up your volume.
thank you. We're looking at Lynn's screen and I can't control my volume. So if you would not be
Computer,
so
you have volume buttons.
soft in your speech, I would appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not soft. I'm not soft. Does anybody else have trouble hearing me?
I'm just deaf.
Okay. Well, turn up your
I'm
volume
fine. I
on
can
your
hear you.
computer.
What?
Okay. Turn up your volume on your computer. You have volume controls on your
No.
computer.
Lynn's viewing screen is the only thing I can see here. I can't get to my
Right.
volume control.
Are you, let me ask you this. Are you on a laptop or a desktop computer or an
Desktop.
iPad? Okay. On your desktop computer, you have a row of function buttons on the top of your
Keyboard.
what do you call it?
Keyboard.
Sorry. Thank
Keyboard.
Keyboard. Senior moment. And function 1, F1, F2, etc. And on there are volume buttons for your computer. So it's not on the screen, it's on your keyboard. Thank you, Barbara. You see?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So turn up your volume there.
Way to go.
Okay?
That's
We'll
much better. Thank you very much.
You're
Never-
welcome. Yeah, it's all sorts of crazy things going on. So Lynn, on her account tab, on her profile, you can see she's got her password. She had to confirm it. Her name, her full name. She gave herself a skill level and a country. And the countries are cool because playing on this, you'll come across. I've had Bulgarians, Greeks, Israelis, Russians that we're playing against. It's a lot of fun. And a lot depends on the time of day as well. If you think about Europeans being ahead of us, 6 to 8 hours, you'll pick them up in the morning. I had a fellow from the UK the other night who was complaining he was getting tired. It was 11 o'clock time for him to go to bed on it. So we were hoping he'd lose some focus and we'd get some extra. Up top, you see the profile. Next to that is settings. Let's see what settings show for you, Lynn. These are adjustable, the way you can split the screen. And why don't you split this on the general tab, split the screen, just show them what happens. Whoop, see what happens? Now, question is, can she get back?
That's a good question.
We should have rehearsed this one, Lynn.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have tried that one without knowing what would happen.
Yeah.
Uh,
Try your
How
white
about a stick?
arrows. No. All right, maybe that wasn't a,
Undo.
yeah, somewhere there's an undo and it'll bring it back.
Here, oops.
Go to your home screen.
I'm not seeing my home screen right now. Wait, I was in solitaire. Now let me see if it'll take me home.
Yeah, there's your home button. Okay.
Oh, well, that's interesting. It's moved. I've never done this before. It's split the screen, but now
Ah,
play
right.
messages, people, and history and a counter at the bottom.
Yep, down below. Okay. So see if you can split it back and put it back in so they're on the right.
Yeah, I'm not real sure how.
So we said you can't get into trouble, but on this
Oh, we're
is
not in trouble. It's just in a different
Yeah.
location.
right. This is what you want to do ahead of time and not in the middle of a game. But this is good.
All right, let's keep it going.
All right,
What do you
I
wanna
can't see. Are they on the right? Because I can't see them.
No, they're no longer on the right, but I have a count up now.
Yeah,
Oh,
now
wait,
I
I can
see it.
stop. Here we go.
Yep, let's turn it back. Thank you.
Whoops,
Okay,
there it
so,
goes.
so you can see what happens with settings. Don't do it during a game. Try it ahead of time and try some of those. How about convention cards? Very important, very important. My wife and a partner lost a round the other day. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that was a different issue. Okay. But in this place, you can fill out, we'll spend more time on this later. You should be filling out a convention card, probably for each person that you play with if they're different. If you look down below, Lynn has personal cards set up for different people that she plays with. And that way an opponent can look at your convention card while you're playing and see exactly what you do on it. Well, you
Jim?
don't have any, yes?
Jim, I filled my convention card. Now, when I play with the robot, would my robot partner play my convention card?
No,
No.
no, the robots play 2-over-1 and their own brand as they won't play anything but that.
Okay.
Yeah, and trying to find out what their rules are is difficult. I'd love to get a hold of their computer rules for playing. That would be very interesting. So
Code
when
has
you,
firsthand experience with this. You play only their role.
yeah, you do want to go in at some point and set up a convention card, or just pick one of the stock ones that you have. Okay. So over on the right, we've gone through those settings. I think most people have seen them. Why don't you make that less of the screen at the moment? Leave the history tab open, but just maybe 25% of the screen. That's great. Okay. So let's look the opportunities or the options on the left here. We've got in green on my screen, player watch bridge, and then 5 options below that. And then featured areas, ACB World, Robot World, Virtual Clubs, Challenges, etc. down below. Now, I will mention in the latest issue of Bridge Bulletin, May, there's a 2-page article on playing online, bridge-based online. That's useful, good to take a look at and see what's happening. One of the things that I like about the bridge-based online is the inability to make certain mistakes that seem to haunt directors during the course of normal play. Okay? All of us have probably at one point or another revoked, made a lead out of turn, made an insufficient bid, or a bid out of turn. It's impossible to do that on Bridge Base Online, okay? So you can't make those mistakes, and it makes the game go much faster. So if you try and bid before your time, it simply won't let you. If you try and make a lead out of turn, you're not allowed to. You won't have an option to make an insufficient bid. And we find that very helpful. Lynn, I forgot to remind you to turn the record button on. Did you remember to do that?
I did.
Okay. We'll mention quickly at this time that we're recording this session, and we'll probably have a link for you if you want to go back and look at it afterwards again and just see if there's anything you missed on it. Lynn will send that out. Okay. So let's go to Play or Watch Bridge, and let's just look at a casual game for a moment. Click on that. Now we have some options. You can play, help me find a game to play with. You can help me find a game to watch with, or find your own game. And a lot of us, we had 12 of us in the beginning when we first were quarantined, playing every day from 3 to 5. And we'd start a casual game, didn't cost us anything, every day. And one day we actually had 3 tables going. It was a lot of fun. So,
And can I add that when we finish the class tomorrow, anybody who wants to, Jim and I, and maybe we'll get some other people to do, we'll play casual games with 3 other people, with 3 of you. And that way you can get some experience playing just in a fun, casual game and ask whatever questions you want, sort of without the stress of competing for black points or having it be competitive.
right. It's a great way to get used to this site and feel comfortable with it. So why don't we go for a moment to help me find a game, watch, and we'll go to an interesting table. Take me to an interesting table in the green area.
Ah, okay.
Thank you. We'll just watch for a minute and see what's happening. Now, okay, so we're watching, let's click on Koskovoy, whatever his name is, and see where he's from. So if we click on his name, we'll see he's from Turkey, and he's signed in 2,000 times. He won't tell anybody what his skill level. Okay, we can close that out. And you close it out simply by Xing. I love to see where my opponents are from. I bet these are all Turkish players, judging from the names. Let's just click on them quickly, one at a time. Let's see. Yeah, another Turkish. Yashki. 5,000 logins. These guys are pretty good. Another one.
Look at the conventions they play when you see compatibility.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start this game as watching. We'll just watch a bit. So north past, east past, south, which is at the bottom of the screen, did the diamond. It's got 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 16 points.
And I think probably none of us understand that bid.
Right. So now somebody clicked on the bid. You can see it was highlighted in gray. So they clicked on the bid and asked for an explanation. And on the screen appeared an explanation in Turkish, right? Which makes perfect sense to us, what the bid means.
What does PIK 3 and LU mean?
Spades.
We don't, well, pick is spades, if you know any foreign languages. So I've got 4 to 5 spades. I've got 3, Lu could be hearts. That's probably what they are. I don't know enough Turkish. Some of it
Maybe
is
we should
similar.
try a game that's in English.
Yeah.
Might make more sense. But I like the fact that somebody clicked on the 2 spades, the bid, one of the opponents clicked on it, and that automatically asks the person to explain what their bid is.
Whew.
Ooh, we got doubles and redoubles going.
Yeah. So these are fun to watch. I mean, you can't believe some of the things that you see here. And you're saying, oh, what kind of rules do they follow? The other day, this was an interesting one. I'm playing with a partner, and West did 2 hearts, and we didn't ask for an explanation. And they finally got I think they weren't vulnerable. They finally got the bid at the contract at 2 hearts. And later on, when all the hands were shown, turned out he had 5 hearts, jack high on it. And I called the director to complain using the blue, would you point to the blue box, Lynn? With the white tabs, thank you. And you can't click on it because it's in the middle of their game. But in there is, oh, okay, you can, all right. So it shows different things. If you're playing the hand, it also allows you to call the director. So I called the director, and the director comes to the table. He sends me a private message in the chat screen, and tells me it was perfectly legitimate for the person to do that. So there is a way to call the director and get them to come from me. Let's look below that blue box with a white, and you've got IMPs. So they're playing. It's an international game. They're playing for IMPs, and you see the score north, south, and east, west, where they are now. And if you're playing in an ACBL, you're going to see the master points. Below that is the what would you call the box with the 21? That's the board number, and you can see north and south are vulnerable. They're in red, and the dealer is north on it. So everybody see that. Hopefully you're comfortable with that. Just below that, you'll see 3 diamonds redoubled in the south. That's the contract. And so far they've taken 4 tricks, that's on the left, and they've lost 1 trick. So we'll just follow this quickly to see where it goes. And you'll watch that change from 4 and 1 to 4 and 2, I think at the moment, yep. Okay, everybody see that change? So you keep track of your tricks that way. During the course
You might
of the
mention
game,
you might mention that we're looking at all 4 hands. When you're playing, you don't see all 4 hands.
yes, that's right. Yeah, you have no idea. All you see, if you're playing defense, it's your hand. If you're playing obviously, if you're a declarer or dummy, you'll see both hands, your hand and your partner's. We'll give them a minute or two just to roll. Okay, so now this is good. You can claim when it's your turn to bid. You can actually the claim button would be on the left there below the 4 and the 2. He's claiming 4 more tricks and saying he's going to make +2 on that. So that was a big score. 1640. Wow. All right. See how that happened. I don't see the claim box appear, but it would be right below the score, the number of hands being scored. And
when someone claims, does someone have to do the opponents have to agree to the claim?
Yes, they do. They can agree or they can reject it. And we had an opponent today got pretty nasty when I accepted it and my partner rejected it. And I was ready to call the director on him, and he claimed again, and I accepted it and my partner rejected it, only because the guy was so nasty. She was going to make him out. So you do have to accept or reject it. If you do nothing, I think it'll be automatically rejected. So you have to move a little fast on that, and that's why it's important to play some casual games first, so you get used to it. The screen at first can appear a little awkward. I know when the first 2 times I looked at the screen, I was just unaware of what was going on. It took me a while to figure it out. So that's an interesting game. Let's go back. You can click out of this. You can watch as much as you want. And sure, back. How about show a list of interesting tables for a moment? You may, if you click on this, it'll show you some of the tables that are being played and when they're, who's playing them. And you might just pick something out. A lot of IMPs, I don't see any Master Point games. Oh, there's a teaching one. See the Drury? Can we click on that for a moment? That's one I haven't seen before. So let's see.
Oops.
Okay, that's Yusuf. No?
No, I clicked on somebody.
Okay. Let's see what happens if we go to that table. So the topic is Drury. This will be close to your heart, Ken. Dealer is North. It looks like, okay.
Also not in English. So maybe not so interesting for us to watch.
Yeah, but hard to follow, I guess. Anyway, there are some teaching tables out there. Ken, you could do all your lessons on this and charge us, make some money in your happy golden years. Okay, let's go back for a moment.
Where is he? I don't know.
Question?
He's open. You told me he was coming at 1:30.
Oh,
Okay.
Barbara. Barbara, you may want to mute if you're talking to somebody else.
Let's go back to home.
Oh, you got it.
I'm muted.
Okay.
We can still hear you. Okay. So let's look at a ACBL World for a moment.
Right.
Which it
One of my
is.
favorite places.
Yep. This is where most of us are playing now. Now it's loading a tournament list. These are the tournaments that are happening in the course of the day. Ones that are over with won't appear, but you can see they're $1.25 over on the entry fee, $1.75. There's, and I want to point, if you point out the ACBL SYC, this to us is the most important game because the SYC stands for Support Your Club. And it's a $6 fee.
Stands for what?
Support Your Club.
Gotcha.
4 of those dollars go back to our club when you play. And right now, we need money in our for our bridge club because we don't have any game fees coming in. We had a discussion on that the other day. Now, just down below, $1.75. See the ACBL 15? That's coming up in a half an hour to play. That's one I like to play in. Start time is in 31 minutes.
Whoops. Do you want to talk about the Senes invite?
So she clicked on that one, and it comes up and it says it has a $1.75 fee. It's going to start in 29 minutes. You need a partner to play. And where it calls for partner, you would simply type in your partner's username there, and it would make sure your partner is online with you. Check in the People tab, see if they're online, and then put in their username, and they'll get an invitation to play. And all they have to do is accept that.
We're going to have a mock game tomorrow, and you'll see us do that. Fran and Penny and Diane have volunteered to be guinea pigs to show the different features.
Right. Now notice there's a box that said, I will pay for both myself and my partner. You can do that if you wish. If you don't do that and your partner's online and you both have money in your bridge-based dollar account, can you point to that blue square, the blue box with the BB dollars? And we'll show you how to get some money in there later. So if you both have money in that account, it'll automatically deduct $1.75 from each of your accounts on it. And that'll get you going. It's a fun game, 18 boards, I think 7 minutes a board. It's a nice pace. So let's head back to that for a moment. Should take us back to the list. Okay, why don't you scroll down all the way. Okay, there's a 315 and 18, so there's a 215 and a 315 at the $1.75 level. None of that money goes back to our club. Only the SYC games support our club games. Give us
However, if it says ACBL and you win, you get black points.
yes, very important. Yeah, and you can get black points. I mean, it's just like playing at our club.
When I say win, if you're like the top 3, whatever the break is.
My partner and I, who's on board, we were doing, I thought, pretty well today. We're at 54% at one point, but we dropped below 50%. I blew the left, and I think we came in at maybe 48%. We still got some points, probably because we're C's on it. And the people in California, because they're 3 hours behind it. But 315, so these games open up 2 hours beforehand. So you can't log into the 315 game before 15. And obviously the 215 game, you can't log in to it before 12:15. So sometimes you fill up fast. You can see in the 215 game, 214 people in now, but that's still got plenty of room to play.
That's 214 pairs.
Yep, 214.
107 tables.
Yeah. So, we're getting 54,000 people playing at any one time on this. How about clicking on the update your ACBL number down below? If you forgot to put it in, you won't get ACBL points, but it gives you the opportunity here to put your ACBL number in. Okay, let's go back. And let's look at the ACBL instant tournament, see what the blue box next to that, see what that is. I've never clicked on that one, Lynn. Okay, 25 tournament. They're actually described, I think, in that article that is in the Bridge Bulletin magazine. There are day-long programs in here that are really kind of interesting. Let's say you got a lot going on the day. You don't think you can get something in. You can go to a day-long program, a day-long game, and play 2 or 3 boards, stop, come back a couple hours later, continue, stop, back a couple hours later, continue. So that game would go on all day long. You'll be playing against different people, and you can get some points for some of them. So that's worth looking at. And a day-long program, back to the list. Let's just see if we can spot one of them. There's one right, I see right at the top, a day-long master point, ACBL, $1.35 on it. And just click on it, just as we'll probably see what happens. I don't think it asks for a partner.
No, it's and under type.
Yeah,
under type goes individual.
Yeah. Okay. So the robot is advanced. 12 best hands, $1.35. It's a match point program. Started at 1 a.m. this morning. If you wake up early or you have trouble sleeping, you want something to do, you play in a day-long program. Okay, great. Thank you. Let's see what else we've got. So we've covered some of the different types of games. We talked about how about bridge base dollars? Let's go to that now. Okay, let's go to purchase bridge base dollars. Okay, so this gives you the opportunity to buy some bridge-based dollars, and you can use a credit card or PayPal. Security-wise, PayPal is actually more secure, so like a second layer of protection on it if anybody's worried about putting their credit card on board. So let's go back for a minute and look at your account. If you don't
So I was going to. Oh, I'm going to
with PayPal, you need to have a credit card backing it up or a bank account.
You only need to pay if you're going to play in a competitive game, if you want to play for points. If you just want to play for fun with 3 other people, you can do that for free. We'll show you that tomorrow.
Yeah, and you should be playing casually for free in the beginning until you get used to it. How about your account activity?
Okay.
You click
Whoops.
on that tab.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Do you want to see it?
Okay. Recent activity, yeah, she clicked on that. Okay, this is all her activity. She's got a $76.75 in her balance. You want to just highlight that quickly so they see where that is?
Yeah. I will say I don't
Great.
normally put that much in, and I don't think any of you will want to either, since the games are like $6 at the most. We were playing in the tournament. And the tournament is just like a regular tournament fee. It's $15 a game. And so I didn't realize I had already paid, and I went ahead and put more money in. So I have quite a stash in there right now.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you something in a minute here, but if you look at it's her complete list, her transaction history. You can see where she's played and how much she's spent on this game. It's quite addictive, as you can see. So if you will go back one level, back to that screen, you know she's got a lot of money in there.
Where am I getting out of BBS activity?
Just back arrow. Okay, now go to transfer bridge-based dollars. Now, I'd like you to transfer 25 of those dollars to me. since you have a surplus, but you can actually do that. I mean, the other day I was playing with someone, and for whatever reason, they got kicked out. You get kicked off the screen sometimes, whether it's your internet connection or it's a system problem, and you have to keep logging back in. Well, we're trying to get into a tournament, and I was afraid it was going to fill up. So I ended up paying for both my partner and myself, and I was the second to last entry. There was a limit on the number of entries. Well, my partner said, all right, I'll send you a check for the $30. She could have used this transfer and just transferred 30 bridge-based dollars to me, rather than write out a check and mail it to me. Tom, you got a question?
Yes, you were talking about getting kicked off, and I don't know whether you're going to cover it tomorrow, but are you going to be talking about turning toggles on and off so that you don't get kicked off?
Tom, I'm not sure what you're referring to, so why don't you tell us about that?
Well, I'm not signed on like she is. Can I walk Lynn through this?
Sure.
Sure,
Because
exactly. Just tell her where to go.
We just play for free with the people that I play with, but we like to study the hands afterwards because it's a learning process for us.
That's right.
What should we have bid? And you're talking to the opponents. Well, we have our phones on when we're talking, but if you don't have these toggles, I'll show you where they are, then what'll happen is it'll say automated play, it's your play, and if you don't, you get kicked off and you got to re-sign up.
Yeah.
Now, what you do if you do get this warning thing that says automatic play and you're not ready, you can click on pass or something and then do an undo, and it'll take you back. But anyway, so
That will show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll see. But the toggle, well, I suppose when you sign all in, I would take you back to when you would be starting a game and playing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to wait for tomorrow?
I want to wait till tomorrow because we tried that, and people are trying and play a game with you, so we interrupt their games.
Yeah, there is a certain sequence, and if you don't do it correctly, then it doesn't work. So okay,
Right.
I just did it this morning. It was fine.
Good. Yeah, I'd like to know how to do that. Thank you. There is a message that comes up when you start in a, let's call it a match, not necessarily a tournament. And the message will say undo's not allowed. So during casual play, you can click undo. If you've clicked on the wrong thing, you've made a mistake, no, but your opponents have to accept that. and they can reject your undo or allow it. So that is okay in casual games. In most of the matches, it is not allowed. Okay.
I think
but I
you'll
would-
find, or what I certainly found when I first started is you touch a card accidentally. You know, if you're playing at the table and you grab the wrong card, you just put it back in before you get it out too far. But on the computer, once you touch it, you played it. And so if you're playing with friends, until you get used to being a little bit more precise with your fingers, you can hit undo, and most of the time your friends will let you take it back and put the correction in.
One of the things that's frustrating, it happened to me today. We got to our contract, it was our contract, and I started touching my card to lead it after my opponent had played, and it wouldn't move. Wouldn't move. What the hell is wrong here? Well, it turned out I wasn't the declarer on it. It was my partners. I was the dummy. And I've seen that happen a number of times, and other folks have told me the same thing. You think you're the declarer, and in effect, you're the dummy on it, and you can't control your cards. The problem is you're seeing, as the dummy, you're seeing the declarer's hand and your hand.
Yes, but it will highlight in yellow the north, south, east, west, whoever's play it is or bid.
Yes, it is, right. Yeah, let's go back. That's a good point, Tom. Let's go back
And we'll
to
see that tomorrow, too.
Yeah, but we can just show in a casual game. Here, pick a casual game. We'll show you the highlight.
Are we playing? I don't want to play.
No,
I'd rather-
just we'll watch. We just
All
watch a casual game. We didn't cover that. That's a good point. Great. Okay. Now you see Tiffo was gold. Now north is gold, and now east is gold. They're playing fast. Now south is gold. Everybody should be able to follow that. Okay. So that's in the bidding in the course of the hand. All right. South is South's turn. South should be highlighted in gold. It is. Okay.
East West has 12 diamonds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
6 hearts doubled into. Oh, wow. Yeah. All right. So you follow the gold as it goes around. You see whose turn it is to bridge. You do tend to space out when you're playing on occasion. I'm sitting here next to my window. The other day, I think I was playing with Jamie. My neighbor across the street had a long broom out, and she's trying to clean her gutters. And she had her ladder out, and she caught my attention, and I started to watch, and I completely forgot about the game. And there were all sorts of messages appearing in the chat screen saying, please play, please play, please play on it. So you do tend to just fade out, tune out as it's going. You really have to pay attention. You can't have cats jumping in the room or babies crying, phones ringing. So we can see how that gold moves around. Thank you. Thanks for pointing that out, Tom. Okay. I've covered everything I've wanted to for today except for logging in. And we just want to make sure everybody knows how to log in. So Lynn, can you log off and then show the registration screen?
I don't know, but we'll see.
GIDBC online.
While you're waiting for her, I sent a chat, but what's the difference in the profile or the convention card between an ACBL standard American yellow card and a regular standard American yellow card?
I don't know, Tom. I'd have to go.
If you open them, Tom, if you open them, it'll give you the cards as completed. You can see the difference between them.
Oh! I hadn't done that yet. I was going to
click
do.
on each separately, and you can review it.
Thank you.
Tom, you
Thank
can
you.
probably even print them out and compare them side by side, I'm guessing.
Yeah, thank you. Didn't think of that. Yes, thank you, Jim.
So first time login, GIDBC Online, the blue box, become a member free. Why don't you click on that, Lynn?
Okay.
See what happens? Okay, there it is. So your skill level, start out as private. Pick your country, USA, unless you want to be from some other place and really disguise yourself. Think of a username that's simple and easy to remember. And you're going to need, obviously, a password can't exceed 10 on it. And you'll see on the up above username, to the right of that real name, password, ACBL number. That's where you want to get your number in. And we showed before, if you forget to put it in there, then you can go in afterwards and update it. So if you can, what we'd like to ask everybody to do on your own after we close out is sign up, become a member of BBOL,